Loups-Garou, also known as Werewolves of Mirkwood, is a role-playing game for 8 to 18 people. There are different types of goals. As a villager you try to eliminate the werewolves, and as a werewolf you try to eliminate the villagers. Each night the werewolves eat a villager. During the day they appear as a normal villager in order to disguise their identity. Each night one of the villagers is killed by the werewolves. This player is out of the game and cannot participate in any discussions. During the day, the villagers that have survived the night must discuss amongst each other and decide who they believe is the werewolf out of the remaining players. Each night one of the villagers is killed by the werewolves. This player will be killed, hopefully it will be the werewolf. This player is out of the game and cannot participate in any discussions. During the day, the villagers that have survived the night must discuss amongst each other and decide who they believe is the werewolf out of the remaining players. The game contains different cards with different roles. A simple villager has no particular skills, he or she must be particularly intuitive. Each night the seer can look at a card of a player of her choice to find out the real. She must help the villagers without being found out by the werewolves. If the hunter gets killed, either by the werewolves at night or by the villagers during the day, has the power to retaliate by killing a player of his choice immediately. On the first night, Cupid picks two players who he denotes as lovers. Those two players will fall madly in love with each another. If one of the lovers dies, the other, out of sadness, dies immediately. A werewolf and a villager can also be in love. They therefore play against all others, werewolves and villagers. If the lovers survive, they win the game. Cupid may select himself as one of the two lovers. The witch knows how to make up two extremely powerful potions. One healing potion, which can revive the player that has been killed by the werewolves. One poison potion which when used at night can kill a player. The witch must use each potion only once during the game. She can use her two potions on the same night if she wishes. In the morning following the use of her potions there could be 0, 1, or 2 dead. The witch may use her potion to her advantage and heal herself. 2 extra cards must be added to the game. During the night when the werewolves are selecting their victim, the little girl is allowed to spy on them by peeping. She must try not to get caught peeping by the werewolves. Otherwise she will be killed immediately by the werewolves instead of the other victim. During the first night the thief can swap his card against one of the 2 cards, face down, that were left out of the game after all the cards have been dealt out. He will play with his new identity for the rest of the game. If both cards are werewolf cards the thief must pick one up. The captain is given to one of the players. In addition to its character card, the captain is elected after having the majority of votes from other players. One cannot refuse the honor to be captain. From this moment on, a vote from the captain counts as 2 votes. If this player is killed, in his last breath he chooses his successor. The game goes through different phases. First of all, choose a game master. Then the game master deals out 1 character card to each player face down. And now it's night time. The game master asks all players to close their eyes. And the village is asleep, following depending on the characters in play. This just happens in the first round of playing. The game master calls on the thief. He wakes up, meaning he opens his eyes, and looks discreetly at the 2 cards face down in the middle. And then exchanges his character card if he wishes. The thief goes back to sleep. Then the game master calls on Cupid. He wakes up and selects 2 players, one of whom may be himself. The game master goes around the table and touches discreetly the back of the 2 lovers. Cupid goes back to sleep. After that, the game master calls on the lovers. They wake up, recognize each other and go back to sleep. The next steps are now followed again every round. The game master calls on the seer. She wakes up, selects a player she wants to know the identity of. The game master shows her the player's card that she has selected. The seer goes back to sleep. Then the game master calls on the werewolves. They, and only they, raise their heads, open their eyes, recognize each other and select silently a victim. They can eventually decide not to open their eyes and not to select a victim to reduce the chance of being spied on. If a werewolf is selected as a victim by the other werewolves, hard luck, he dies. If no werewolves open their eyes, they die of hunger and the villagers win. During this round the little girl can spy on the werewolves by peeping, if she wishes. If she gets caught, she will be killed immediately instead of the selected victim. Now the werewolves go back to sleep. So the game master calls on the witch now. The game master says, the witch should wake up and I will show her the werewolf's victim. Will she use her healing or poison potion? The game master shows the witch the werewolf's victim. The witch doesn't have to use her power in a specific round. If she uses a potion, she must show the game master her target with her thumb up for healing. or thumb down for poisoning. The game master will reveal to the village the effect of the witch the next morning. In the next step, the daytime begins. So the village wakes up. Everyone raise their heads, open their eyes. The game master shows all players which player was killed by the werewolves during the night. This player reveals his/her card and is eliminated from the game. Whatever his/her character was, he will not be able to communicate with other players under any circumstances. If the player is the hunter, he has the right to retaliate by killing another player of his choice instantly. If the player is one of the two lovers, the other lover commits suicide immediately. Next, the players, after much debating and arguing, must select one player that they want to eliminate when they vote. The villagers will attempt to find out the werewolves by voting for one of them to be eliminated. The werewolves must bluff and lie, to try to disguise their identity and appear as a villager. The seer and the little girl must help the villagers while being careful not to reveal their identity to the werewolves and risking being killed in the night. The lovers must protect one another. In the case of a draw, the captain's vote selects the victim. Otherwise the players vote again, as well as the players that were voted for, to split the tie. So then the player selected by the majority of votes is eliminated. He reveals his character card and will not be able to communicate with other player under any circumstance. After this, it's nighttime again. All alive players go back to sleep. All eliminated player can look but do not speak. And the round starts again. The villagers win as soon as the last werewolf is eliminated. The werewolves win as soon as the second last villager dies. If you like this video, please leave a thumb up and feel free to subscribe this channel. Thank you for watching.